We welcome into the conversation Minnesota Vikings wide receiver Adam Thielen, nice enough to join us out of the gate. Thank you, Spearfish Sammy. And before we get into some football and cut down days and practice squads and everything, today was the first day of kindergarten for your son Asher. And being a father of two, and Nordo is a father of two, and we've gone through first day of kindergarten, and whether it's dropping the child off at school or getting on the bus, and then they walk up the stairs and they look out the little window in the bus. It's kind of an emotional day, isn't it?
Yeah, honestly, he was so excited that it made it pretty easy. Lucky enough, I got to drop him off this morning before coming here, so that worked out really well. And like I said, he was so excited, getting in line, ready to go into the classroom, that it made it pretty easy.
What would make him excited? Just new friends and new experience and stuff like that?
Yeah, Asher is our learner. He loves to learn. He loves to do new things. He loves to experiment. He loves to do crafts, things like that. So he's just so excited for to be a big kid. He got to wear his little collared shirt and his nice shorts. So new shoes, of course. So he's all excited, which makes me happy.
Now Asher loves daddy, and kids are going to love daddy, and kids are going to love mom. But, it's my experience, and I think the experience maybe with you and just with a lot of people over the course of time is the boys that they will just have a connection with mom that is just super, super special. And then on the other side of it, you got daddy's little girl. I mean, those are cliches that stand the test of time. So moving forward from kindergarten, through elementary school, and it's obviously impossible to cast your gaze down to middle school and or high school, but mama's boy would be too strong of a term, but do you want your son to be rough and tumble football guy or soft and not soft, but sensitive and people pleasing kind of child who adheres to say mom or something?
He's 100% a mama's boy, and so is our other boy Hudson. And Cora, like you said, is daddy's girl, so that's pretty cool. But as Asher gets older, he tends to go to me a little bit more. But like when he was Hudson's age, 3 years old, he would never come to me. If there's anything wrong, it was straight to mom. Which was tough, but he now that he gets to see football, he gets to come out to practice and do all that. He's always wanted to go play catch outside and play baseball in the backyard and stuff like that. So that's really fun as a dad.
With your family, like brothers and or sisters, I'm not exactly sure how many you have. Like, where were you in the order?
Yeah, so I have two older sisters. So okay. I'm the baby, and my wife was the baby as well with two older brothers. So she loves our dynamic right now because it gives her flashbacks to when she was a kid, getting beat up by the older brothers. So I have a feeling that Cora is going to be pretty tough. My wife is pretty tough because she had to survive.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like Hudson being the second boy. All right, so Asher's going to set the tone. He's going to set the tone for both kids. But the advantageous or the scenario that they will find is they always want to keep up with Big Brother. So generally speaking, children 2 and 3 can be the scrappers. They're the scrappers. They just have something to them where maybe the fearless gene it comes out in them a little sooner than the older one. You know what I'm saying here?
Oh yeah, Hudson is definitely our fearless child. A little bit too rough probably,
right?
But he's learning. He's 3, so he's kind of going through that tough little phase right now. But but he's got a mind of his own. He's very headstrong. So he keeps me young and he challenges me. But it's good.
A 2-day late happy birthday to you. 32 years of age on Monday. And we joke around about Gramps and veteran and JJ going to call him Gramps and stuff like that. But honestly speaking, 32 for a wide receiver, I mean, that's not that old. I mean, and you've played a lot of reps, specifically over the last, 9 years. But, I mean, just 32 in your cleats. How do you feel?
I feel great. So it's kind of funny, I when I hear that number, talk about that number, it's like, man, it kind of shocks me because I don't feel that way.
Mm-hmm.
This is the best I've ever felt in my career as far as, physically, best shape of my life.
Right.
So trying to keep it that way. I definitely, probably the biggest thing is just trying to get loose in the mornings, getting ready for practice. But like once I get going, I feel great.
Yeah.
I'm excited because of that. That makes me excited to be out there around my teammates. I feel like when I go home at night, I'm like, oh shoot, I should probably mature a little bit because I feel like I'm, in the building, I'm about an 18-year-old kid in here. So, but when then you get home to 3 kids, you realize, maybe I should mature a little bit and be the head of the house.
This is Adam Thielen, 9 to noon. This is now the 3rd time you've said, I'm in the best shape of my life. I've never felt better. Twice 9 to noon and sideline, I believe the last game with Lieber during the Niners game. Why? What is different? Why do you feel different? What did you do anything differently? Because clearly it matters to you, or you wouldn't keep bringing it up.
Yeah, I think it comes with experience. I think it comes with the people around me. Probably most importantly, the people around me. Ryan Engelbert at ETS has been training me now for 10 years, and he knows me better than anybody else, and has been able to adjust things as I've progressed in my career, and to really help me feel the best, and to push me to he's always on me about my nutrition. What are you doing? How are you eating? What are you eating? What time are you eating? Things like that, and then I think just the leadership and the people in leadership positions in the building now have just made endless resources for us to feel our best. It's unbelievable. I can't even explain it. You come out to practice, you have 3 little shot glasses full of things that for hydration, for recovery after practice. There's literally like 4 different things, and when you come on the field, and 4 different things when you come off the field to help you feel your best. So. Again,
like those little beet cups?
Yeah.
Like it's got like that beet juice in it or
you got
something?
beet juice in there. Yeah. You got, some guys take a little pre-workout. I'm too juiced up already, so they don't allow me to take the pre-workout. But no, it's unbelievable. And then just, our strength staff, them, really catering to what you need, and making sure that we're strong and feeling good. And, we have recovery days. We're not lifting heavy weights every single day. Some days we're just in there to recover, roll out, grab a golf ball and roll out your feet, things like that. So I think there's just a combination of really good people around me that have helped me to feel my best, and also my teammates, obviously. They feel really good too, and that's exciting.
The Vikings roster is down to 80, still 33 away from the active roster. 16 hit the practice squad, so 17 plus. 17 for sure, but 17 plus, definitely on the sweat into this Denver game. Now, before we get into that, for like you and the best players on the team, no preseason snaps into the Green Bay game. If that's the case, no big deal, right?
No big deal. I think people make a big deal out of that, but everybody will forget about it, week 1, week 2, once we start playing real football. But, honestly, it all depends on how they structure practice. I think, again, this staff, this organization has done an unbelievable job to make sure that we feel our best, and that we're going to be at our best in week 1. So just the way that they've structured things, I was just telling Sam on the way in here, the last couple of days have got me a little bit because I feel like the way that they're progressing us is they're trying to get us in the best game shape as possible. How do you do that? You play football, and you play real football. You don't just go through plays. You actually play real football. You move the ball. You get a first down. Now it's 1st and 10, and then it's 2nd and 8, and now it's 3rd and 3, and you go through situations, and you do a 2-minute drive. So I think that stuff is what's going to be more beneficial than playing 10 snaps in a preseason game.
Right.
We're going to do basically a simulated game here in a couple days, and that's going to be one more step that I think is much more important than playing a preseason game, because you're playing a whole game.
Yeah.
And it's simulated. You're not going to the ground and getting tackled and things like that, but it's good for just getting in that game shape.
So those Niners joint practices, I mean, those were vital. You know, because it wasn't, and it seemed, viewing it from afar and watching most of your practices, that you guys are like a thud team, I think is what it's called. It's not full hitting, but certainly it's not soft. And it seemed like the 49ers maybe had a different idea of how the physicality of the joint practices would go. So you had to work your way through that. But if that is the case, do you genuinely feel, with your matchups and just the way it worked out, that you got out of it what you needed to get out of it to get ready for this Green Bay game?
Yeah, 100%. You know, I saw some stuff out there saying that, you know, I don't know who it was, but saying that it didn't do any good to have the joint practice. That wasn't coming from us because I thought it was fantastic.
Weird.
I thought it was great work.
Yeah.
The physicality, you know, was something that we needed. I thought that was great. And it was like playing in a preseason game. I was tackled probably 3 times in those 2 days. So, you know, I think that was fantastic. It was different schemes. It was different looks. Different way that they played the run game, that you know, as receivers we had to block it a little differently and kind of be ready for some physicality. But yeah, I mean, I couldn't ask for better work. I know it prepared me for week 1. And I'm glad we did it. You know, in the moment you're kind of angry because you're like, these guys are going to hurt somebody. You know, they're not practicing how we practice. But now looking back at it, I'm glad we did it, and I'm glad that they did it the way they did it.
2013, you were on the practice squad, and 16 will be on the practice squad this year. The team was 5-10-1. The wide receivers were Greg Jennings, Jerome Simpson, Jarius Wright, Joe Webb, Rodney Smith, and Cordero Patterson was a rookie. What did you do in 2013 to make sure you got yourself active in 2014? Because from that moment on, A, you never looked back, and then B, 15, 16 and on, you became one of the best in the game. But 2013 had to shape something.
Yeah, 100%. Well, first of all, it motivated me. It humbled me to just be practicing for a whole year and not playing one game.
Wow.
But you know, you kind of you see it everywhere, right? Like you see these guys, they come from high school and they're the best in at their high school. They go to college, they're the best on the team in college, and then they get to the NFL, and it's like a humbling experience, right? Because you're not the guy anymore. But for me, I took advantage of it. Every single rep I had on offense, I was trying to beat that defender. I didn't care who it was. I didn't care if he was the starting. I didn't care if he was a star.
Yeah.
I was trying to beat him. I was trying to make his life miserable.
Yeah.
What was that? Wednesday through Friday.
Right.
Was my chance to make him
That
miserable.
reminds me of like Taylor Heineke and or Chad Beebe.
Yeah.
You know, when they were running the scout team, Beebe just a few years ago. I mean, it was late in the season, so maybe bodies and minds are tired, but he was just killing the first defense.
Right. Yeah. And I took advantage of that. And then you know, also the special teams reps. I never had ever played special teams in my entire life other than a punt returner.
Yeah.
So that was a great year for me to take every single rep again against the starters, the best special teamers in the NFL, a couple of those guys, and taking not live reps, but really good reps every single week, and that really helped me.
Lastly, Nick Mullins. What do you know about him? I would assume you've met him by now. Seems to be very businesslike from what I hear. What do you think of Nick?
Yeah, well, I've met him a few times before, just through passing. So I knew him a little bit before he got here, and then I've seen him from afar. You know, some of the stuff when. I remember watching like San Francisco, maybe when he was in San Francisco and there was a game and they were showing him pregame going through all the reads, you know, like, just by himself on the field and just kind of like going through all the plays because he was the backup that week or something. And he was going through all of his reads, boom, boom, boom. And I remember then like this guy's got a chance. And then, you know, you play against him in the preseason and he does a really good job and kind of tossing it all over the place. And, you know, I'm excited to have him here. You know, obviously this organization's, they're not doing stuff just because they're going to do it for a reason. So they know what he can do, what he's capable of, and how he can help this team.
Do you chat with Kellen much? And like, you know 1,000 times more about it than any of us will ever know. But from afar, calling the games or just following the team, I'm like, he just seems like he needs to let loose. Just like let loose and just if you don't fear. You know what I'm saying? Is you talk to him and like offer him encouragement?
Absolutely, yeah. No, we have a great relationship. I actually was able to throw with him a lot this offseason in the summer because he stuck around for a few weeks and was able to throw to a lot of the guys that stick around and across the NFL that throw on a couple days a week. And so, there's one thing about Kellen is he works his butt off and he cares. And you can see that because from last year to this summer, what I saw was huge improvement. From the summer to where he's at right now is huge improvement. So you can't knock the guy for that because that's impressive. That obviously shows that he cares, that he's working hard, that he's doing the little things.
Yeah.
I'm excited about his continued process and progression to be the best football player he can be.
We are very excited to watch you guys against Green Bay. This is as excited for a season opener as I've been in a long time, and I've seen practice. So I mean, I've seen some plays that are super cool, like that Davidson play in the second preseason game that he dropped. I mean, that looked like a sweet beat the middle regular season cool play. And it seems like there are a bunch of those that nobody has seen yet, including me. And now all of a sudden you're going to play Green Bay, and here's Adam going over here, and JJ and Irv Smith Jr. back, and Dalvin and Kirk, and man, it's going to be a lot of fun. Do you have to temper your enthusiasm, or are you so veteran that it's easy to walk up to it? You got Asher going to kindergarten, keep your body right. You don't even have your coffee right now, which means you probably need to grind it. You're worried I was going to offer up Turkish coffee and ask you to drink out of my cup, and you're freaking out about that. Is it easy to get up to the game in just nice, mellow fashion?
No, I'm not a very even-keeled person. If
awesome.
You know me at all. But yeah, I mean, I think for me, I've always gone back to, hey, just focus on today.
Yeah.
You start thinking about a week from now. You think, man, we still got 3 weeks of practice till the first game. You start thinking about those things.
Yeah.
And you're just not going to perform your best. You're not going to get better every single day. You're kind of go through the motions. You're going to just kind of get by. But when you really just focus on today, like, hey, I'm just going to give it everything I got today. I'm not going to worry about anything. I'm just going to give it everything I got. I'm going to lay it on the line. I'm going to get better, and then we'll figure it out tomorrow. And when you do that, I think you start stacking bricks, and you don't see it from day to day, but you see it in a week. You see it in 2 weeks. You see the progression, and it's hard to do. It's easier said than done.
Yeah.
But I think that's what got me here, and so I always kind of fall back on that, just taking it one day at a time, not worrying about things. I always talk about, I look back at the rookie camp when I'm not signed. And I'm more nervous now thinking about that than I was in the moment because I wasn't thinking about anything. I was just playing football.
Wow.
So I kind of always go back to that. What got me here? I'm going to go back to that and continue to try to get better.
Yeah, you're terrific. Thank you.
I appreciate you.
Adam Thielen kicks off 9 to noon from Twin Cities Orthopedics Performance Center. Vikes Bites are next.